Hey, we meet again. Welcome back. September 2020 is here to slap us in the face with tons of new games and DLCs. It's also the time of year where sports games hit their annual release dates. I'm going to miss those if that's okay, and focus on new IPs, returning masterpieces, and a free game too. So let's do this. I'm starting with WWE 2K Battlegrounds. This is hugely different from the annual game we usually receive. This is because that series is taking a year off, and 2020 is when we get this over-the-top arcade game featuring more than 70 superstars. And when I say OTT, I mean it. There's a gator at ringside. You can drop a car on someone's head. The campaign mode stars Paul Heyman as we become a WWE rookie and unlock custom items and take down the legends you've watched as a child. The game uses a currency system which is gained by completing challenges or going online in tournaments, and that feeds back into the cycle of vanity items. If you ever wanted a WWE themed Super Smash Bros, I think this is the closest we're going to get to that. Releasing on September 18th on PS4, Xbox One, PC and Switch, and Stadia too. I'll be playing this one on the gameplay channel as soon as I get my hands on it, and I challenge you to some online shenanigans. The next game has the potential to be something we play for years, Marvel's Avengers. Hopefully, by now you've either played the beta or you've seen the game running for long enough to notice Marvel's Avengers is a game as a service, in the same vein as the brilliant Destiny or the less brilliant Anthem. Set in third person, we take control of the Avengers, and one day there will be so many of these you'll have palpitations trying to decide who to take on each mission. But until then, the group is quite small on release day. The story revolves around the aftermath of A-Day and the death of Captain America, and the breakup of the Avengers. We'll piece the team back together and take on the combined might of AIM and MODOK. And here's the thing to note right away. Games like this usually have content issues early on. Like I said, there's only a small number of Avengers available right away, but more are coming all the time. Similarly, in 6 months from now, the added missions from all these Avengers will evolve the game greatly. Right now, I have to say the story missions are great fun, especially the detail in the backstories. They're staggeringly good. But the multiplayer is where most of the action will take place, and it seems to be a rinse and repeat kind of content where we replay the same missions multiple times. And that's fine for some people, but for others, that will wear thin quickly. The game is designed for 4 people to play together online, but you don't have to do that. If you prefer to do this alone, you can set up the AI to take control of your team, or just do it all on your Todd. No pressure at all here. I plan to be covering this game in depth and will try to let you know everything you need to know before you buy the game on September the 4th on PS4, Xbox One, PC and Stadia. And another thing to note is that Marvel's Avengers will include a free update to the next gen hardware, which is nice. Are you old like me and remember 2002 and the game Mafia? Well, back then it was mind-blowing, and later this month, Mafia is remade, which could explode our brain cells once again. Mafia Definitive Edition takes the original story of 1930s crime families and expands it. We play as Tommy Angelo, who joins the Salieri organization and slowly climbs the ranks. As you'd expect from a game like this, it's just like GTA, a completely open map with incidental events occurring with NPCs, who have nothing to do with the story. You've heard it before, but the living, breathing environment is what brings us towards these games, and the impact of GTA is definitely felt as the series has evolved over the last 18 years. The game will feature more dense environments, such as taller buildings to better represent that time period, as well as areas like Chinatown will now be more distinctive and recognisable right away. The OG game back in 2002 was given a 9.2 out of 10 by IGN, so everything about this remake is set on solid ground. Are you going to dive in and become the mob enforcer? I know I am. September the 25th, Mafia Definitive Edition drops on PS4, Xbox One and PC. Another game rebuilt from the pits of nostalgia is none other than Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Back in 1999 this time, and 2000, these games introduced the world of non-skaters to the brilliance of skateboarding. The 2020 version smashes both games together and completely updates the game's engine to look and feel modern. The majority of the killer soundtrack has returned, with 37 new tracks thrown in for good measure. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 features online multiplayer to allow you to take on your friends, and the designer mode is here to keep the game thriving for years. Design your own tracks and challenges to test the skills of others. With 19 base levels, there's no rush to make your own tracks, but it's nice to know it's there for the future. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 releases on September the 4th on PS4, Xbox and PC. And if you don't like it, tell your parents. Chances are they will be over the moon to hear about this game. And now, the free game of the month, Rocket League, the arcade football/soccer rocket car extravaganza. I brought this to your attention last month as the release date was summer 2020. And guess what? That's still the same date right now. So the best I can do is tell you when summer officially ends, which is September the 22nd. So that will be the last day you can expect Rocket League to become free to play. But it could drop any day now. The suspense is killing me. Expect the game to attempt to grab your cash via rocket passes. Those, as you already know, are Rocket League's version of the infamous Battle Pass from many Battle Royale games, featuring vehicles, trails, and a whole bunch of vanity items. Any guesses on the release date? Let's see who can guess this right. I really should be talking about the sports sims now and their annual releases, but I'd rather tell you about a piece of DLC content for a game you may have missed. The game is The Outer Worlds, and the DLC is Peril of Gorgon. I don't feel like this game got the attention it fully deserved in 2019. Hands down, this is the best Fallout style game ever made. The sci-fi RPG with a multitude of endings and playstyles. I low-key murderized everyone I met to see if I could rule the galaxy alone, but there are other ways to play. I'm told diplomacy is a good option. Yeah, right. The next expansion, Peril of Gorgon, brings the planet of Gorgon to the game, filled with new NPCs, quest lines, armour and weaponry. September the 9th, if you're interested, on PS4, Xbox and PC. And as we're talking about DLC, here's a free piece of new content for another great game, Untitled Goose Game, the game in which we wreak havoc on a small village. Check out this free update. A co-op mode will be available on September 23rd. Now you and a buddy can team up and cause even more mischief. This may not be a world-shattering update, but added co-op modes in games should always be celebrated. I'm going to be jumping back in. So there we have it, 7 games that should grab your attention in September 2020. Hopefully there is something for everyone in this bunch. My hopes are for the Marvel's Avengers game to grow into a great experience, and the WWE Battlegrounds looks like a good way to live out my Rey Mysterio fantasies. I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade, and if you've got this far into the video, tell me who your favourite wrestler is. I already know, it's Jake the Snake Roberts, right? See you soon!